Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are having today's Dankster Debrief, episode 2, the daily debrief. We are going to be covering some interesting things that I'm just saying, like, wow. When Candace, yesterday, she opened up, she was like, I'm already exhausted for the week and it's Monday. I'm like, I'm feeling you, girl. I'm feeling you. So I hope everyone's doing well. In December, in a convention hall in Phoenix, Turning Point USA put a microphone on a stage inside of a case, and they put it under a spotlight. All right, you might have seen the image. It's like a relic of some sort. I think Reuters photographed it, and the caption says it plainly. Really, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. But the thing is, I want to raise a question about the microphone that is at, or has been allegedly or whatever, at this donor event that Erika Kirk is standing over, and kind of, interested to see what other people think when Barron also showed, shout out to Barron, the alleged officer. I'm gonna blanket everything in alleged because I don't know who is who. Excuse me. Obviously, an officer was pounding on a microphone by the stage right after Charlie Kirk was, taken out, removed from the map, I guess. And so, that is interesting to me. And I people in the comments have mentioned it. I think I've seen it floating around, but I do want to raise the topic of why is there what looks to be blood. I'm looking at the microphone right now, which I'm going to show you all in a bit. I mean, it looks like blood, or they painted it red. I mean, I don't know. You tell me once we get there, but there's none of that on the microphone. And if there was, I'm pretty sure we would have seen the reaction of the officer picking up, or the sergeant picking up a microphone, and he's blowing on it. And I mean, I don't know what he's doing. It looks like he's blowing on it, but there's no blood. You didn't seem like he was wiping his hands like, oh, ooh, there's blood on my hands. Like, blood on my hands. Interesting. But remember, there's a man sitting in jail right now, Tyler Robinson, charged with capital murder. Case number is 251-403-576, 4th District Court with Judge Tony Graff ruling. And that's where the state has him, where they want to execute him as well. And while he sits in there are objects from that scene. There are objects on a convention stage. There are things that have been disheveled, touched, tainted, if you will, changed, manipulated. So, when we're looking at, I mean, his own lawyers cannot get full access to the phone that the confession supposedly came off of, at least so far that I know of. A second microphone should be a viable thing to look for, or ask for, or to present in court. Oh, by the way, he had this Rode microphone. How come, all the questions that we've asked about the Rode microphone, we haven't heard, well, where is it exactly? Like, what happened to it? Has it been evidence tagged? I'm sure someone has asked, but like, where is it? What happened to it? And these are major questions. We're also going to be, looking at, Barron discussed Michael Knowles yesterday and his response to Candace Owens. I don't believe Barron showed the actual response from Michael Knowles on X. So I'm going to do that today. I'm going to show you that. We're going to show Barron a little bit of his response. We're going to be going back and forth around this entire Andrew Wilson debating Candace Owens. You're going to get my opinion on it. It might not be what you think. If you have heard it before, then you'll know. If you haven't, you might want to stick around for that, because I got an interesting one for you. And then if we have time, the Brandy Zadrozny stuff is just absolutely epic. I don't know if you saw my post. If you are on X, follow us on X at Dankster Intel. You can follow us on Kick. We're live on Kick as we speak. And you can join us on Club Vatra for as low as $5. Join the community. Join the investigator tier at $10 a month for our weekly deep dives in the community. Also, lots of new updates. We're just pushed to Club Vatra. We've got two-way messaging. Still kinks are being worked out, but we've got two-way messaging now. So if you have, there's lots of things on there. You might want to go check it out. And also join for Saturday only memberships for YouTube. 99 cents. We have members only lives on Saturday. So like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't. The first thing I want to show you, we're going to start with the microphone, since I made a big deal about that moving in the beginning, I think. Yeah, let's go ahead and start with the microphone. So the microphone that I'm talking about is, I'm rearranging some things here since we changing a couple of things, some rearrangements. We're going to move Michael Knowles to the burner. All right, here we go. This is one of the images. I have 3. I think they're all of the same place, I guess. Here, let me make it bigger, I guess. Yeah, so if you look here, obviously, like, I don't see, this could be tape. I don't know. I mean, paint, I guess. But then what's strange is like this red hue that is, I guess, on her. I don't know, unless it's fake. There's let me pull open the other 2. So I got them from Grok, and I didn't ask it to make it. I was in the chat and I was like, link me these. So there's this one, which also has that hue. There's this one, which also has the red and the red. So they're like different hues of this, and these are the ones that I could have it source for me. So that's the microphone. So if you look closely, there's red on it. I don't know if it's supposed to be blood or imitating blood. I don't know if they've claimed it to even be, so I don't even know if that's the true claim, if there's actually a bloody mic. But I do find it strange that there's blood on the mic. But then when you come to this here, there's not. And I find it intriguing. So I wanted to see what other people thought.
The camera comes even closer. Again, guys, this is an active crime scene. We have the chief of police picking up evidence, blowing in it, and then you'll see him banging on the table. Look at that. What are you doing? Has this been documented? Has anybody taken a picture of the crime scene yet? Has anybody attempted to establish where the evidence was at any given time?
There's no blood on. I mean, I can take this and blow it up real quick. Here, let me see. You know how I do around here. We take things up, we blow them up, we try to make them more improved so we can see. Even if we just expanding the pixels, make them look bigger. Long microphone, long mic. That doesn't sound like anything I want in my computer, a long mic, but here we will. Chief Long microphone. I don't know if it's Chief Long. I think Barron even says as much. He's not sure if it's Chief Long. All right, so I screen grabbed the image, and I am going to just blow up the pixels. I mean, we can only see one side of it, but there's no blood. He doesn't appear to have gloves on. Does he have a mouse in his hand, bro? What is this? What is this? Is that a mouse or a squirrel in this dude's freaking hand right here? Or is that a gun? Like, what is that? Am I tripping? I just noticed this right now. No, I'm dead serious. Are you guys seeing this right here? Can I get any closer? What is that? Looks like I am obviously tripping, but it looks like he's holding a squirrel. That's, I don't know why. A chipmunk or some shit. The hell is that? Hold on. Let me go to the hold on. Let me see what this dude is doing. Let me see what he's doing. Is there a better
picking up evidence, blowing in it?
Now I can see a better image, but that's still kind of looks like it. And even if I zoomed in.
And then you'll see him banging on the table.
What in the hell is he holding?
Look at that.
It can't
what
be
are you doing?
What I'm thinking. I'm obviously tripping, but it really looked like a chipmunk. Okay, a taser. A rat in any form. I'm like, I don't know what is going on. Sorry. I know it was kind of a weird detour real quick, but I just found that very strange for a second. So yeah, anyways, why is he manipulating the crime scene, touching it, blowing into it? Like, what is the point of that? I just I just can't understand the competency or lack thereof. It's no disrespect, but come on, you guys.
Has this been documented? Has anybody taken a picture of the crime scene yet? Has anybody attempted to establish where the evidence was at any given time?
I just find this appalling. That's why I've shown it so many times. If you're on Kick, what's up? I see you in the chat. Thanks for joining. I find this very strange. I don't know why the red hue. It really, something about this, man. I just don't understand. Like, this doesn't look like it was just like blood dripping. I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to say. Doesn't look like dripping blood on a microphone. It looks like crafted, painted properly, like hopefully just a remembrance of it, but still, I thought it was interesting. People kept mentioning it. Obviously, I don't think that they would have an actual bloody mic of Charlie. I'm not that. I just don't think they're that brazen. I'm probably wrong, but I don't know. I thought we'd kind of just look at that. Let me know what you think in the comments on that below, because I don't know what to make of it. The weird part is, I guess I'm going to share this again, because the weirdest part to me is why do you want this image for everybody? Really? Like, when was this taken? This was taken a few months later. I don't know about this, man. I don't know about this. The thing is, if your husband died, I know 66.7% of the people that watch my show are women on a regular basis. Older women, 45 to 65. If your husband died, there's strikingly so many things that I can't imagine I would do as a husband. Now, I don't know what it's like for certain women. I know women are very different than men, obviously. So maybe there is a place in a woman's heart that can just move on and forgive Tyler Robinson and all his cherries and gravy. And I guess, but personally to me, man, I don't know. Not after a day like this. This is a treacherous day right here, man. It shocked everybody. It touched everybody.
Police picking up evidence, banging it on the table. How do you know that microphone's not going to become the piece of evidence we need to figure out what happened? Exactly. At least nobody's under the tent for right now. That's going to change here in just a minute. Oh, now we got another guy wandering through. Terrell Farnsworth comes into the crime scene. There's no attempt to establish any kind of perimeter, to put the caution tape up around a crime scene almost immediately upon arrival.
This is what? Minutes? Like 2 minutes less?
We've got an undercover officer and a cameraman now making their way into the crime scene. Now look where Cameraman goes. Walking through the crime scene. Walking where... how do we know there's not something right there he's stepping all over that's going to be...
We've seen it. I've shown it so many times because it's just so appalling to me. I don't want to continue showing that. Shout out to Baron. There is going to be a few Barons up front. And I'm going to be showing you the Michael Knowles reaction to being just volunteered by Andrew Wilson. He declined, Michael Knowles, but I want to share it. I want to play it out. I think that I don't know Michael Knowles. I've never really watched or heard much of his stuff, but I hear he's respected, and I want to play his response to Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. Let me play this first.
Without asking ahead of time.
Okay, here we go.
Opening statement. Without asking ahead of time, Andrew Wilson, a.k.a. Smoke Boy. Nominated veteran Daily Wire podcaster and Ben Shapiro subject Michael Knowles to moderate Friday's debate scheduled between Smoke Boy himself.
Bro, I would never want to be referred to as Ben Shapiro's subject. That is like, damn, bro.
Self and Candace Owens. Today, Michael Knowles declined. Rather than simply declining, Michael Knowles made a spectacle of declining. Michael Knowles shamed people, asking who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. He said any money made from the debate should go into a trust for Charlie's children.
So before, because you guys have probably seen it, ladies and gentlemen, have all, I'm sure, seen this. If not, we might come back to it, but I don't want to. You should go watch Barron's episode. It's fantastic. It's episode, I think it was yesterday. Yeah, 18 hours ago. Smoke Boys Demands. It's actually episode 158. I think you forgot to put it on there, but episode 158. So this is Michael Knowles' response. All right, we're gonna check out Michael Knowles' response right now.
As I mentioned on the last show, I woke up Friday morning to the news that I had been invited to moderate.
Damn, that voice. I'd never listened to you talk, man. You got a voice on
a
you.
Debate on the murder of my friend Charlie Kirk between Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens. Andrew had suggested me as moderator, and Candace accepted, and then they started arranging the details of the debate. There was just one person they forgot to ask. From what I've gathered, the debate apparently involves big money, hundreds of thousands of dollars raised as prize money or something. I'm actually not totally sure what the purpose of the money is. I think I'm even being offered a cut. In any case, after giving it serious consideration over the weekend, I will be declining the invitation. The whole internet seems to think this debate will be must-see content, and I'm sure it will be. I bet it'll get zillions of views. That is, in fact, why I'm declining. I'm gratified that the debaters think I have the right temperament to moderate. I try to be judicious, not get too emotional, not call people names, and so on. But in many ways, I'm probably the single worst person to moderate this debate because...
And by the way, I haven't listened to this yet. This is my first time. We're going to listen to it. It's 7 minutes. I mean,
for 10 or 11 months now,
so far, he said, I don't want to moderate because the main reason he gives is because it's going to get a bunch of views.
I have been very possibly the only person on the internet who has consistently maintained that our friend's murder should not be used for podcast content. On the debate matter itself, I've said many times, I think the evidence is pretty clear that Tyler Robinson murdered Charlie. But that fact alone would not preclude me from moderating. Everyone has opinions, doesn't mean you can't be fair. The bigger issue is that even if I didn't think Tyler Robinson murdered Charlie, I am certainly convinced that the guilt for Charlie's murder should be adjudicated with gravity and sobriety in a court of law, rather than in an...
Can you let me know in the chat, do you like Michael Knowles? I just want to see what everyone thinks. Let me know in the chat. I'm reading it.
Ouroboros of endless, not to mention lucrative podcasts. The only silver lining in the storm cloud of Charlie's murder was the brief unity it brought to the right. You might recall it was very brief. The right came together as leftists at every level of politics revealed their rot and cruelty by justifying and celebrating Charlie's murder, in some cases before his body was even cold. Soon after, however, a cottage industry sprung up of Charlie murder content.
Oh, I see. This is, okay, so now I get it. So this is following the same playbook as Brandy Zadrozny. Maybe I should have formatted my show to include her next. This sounds like it's going to be some Brandy Zadrozny type shit right here. Let's see.
Candace, of course, launched her series on the subject, which I've said many times from the beginning I thought was wrong, and I wish you wouldn't do it. But it got lots of views. People found it very interesting. Then all sorts of other podcasters started doing their own shows, full-length shows, weeks of shows, months of shows about how much they hated Candace's shows about Charlie's murder. And those podcasts got lots of views too. The other group of podcasters' justification was that they wanted to debunk Candace's theories, to get people to stop watching her shows. Many of them, I suspect, had very good intentions. But I said at the time that I thought it was a bad idea, that it would be counterproductive, that we should state our opinions, of course, tell the truth as we see it, but that to obsess over every theory and speculation and provocation not only would not work, but in fact would do more harm than good to everyone and everything other than the view counts and bottom lines of the various podcasters.
Okay. I'm going to beg to differ here on this point. So what he's saying is this is doing no good. The only good that is happening is people that weren't getting paid from talking about Charlie Kirk's murder are getting now paid from it. Then that's definitely true. However, every single case in history, including all the other terror attacks, the things that have happened in this country, you've had people pop up and cover this as journalists, researchers, people that got into it for the first time. So this is not an excuse. This is not an excuse to say that, oh, because people are looking into this as the public, which actually we are tasked to do, is to hold our government accountable for the actions that they're performing, despite whatever it is. It doesn't matter, from the war in Iran to the murder and how it's handled within the government. And that goes with everything, with how flock cameras. I mean, we actually are the ones that are supposed to hold them accountable. It's not the other way around. And we're starting to see a switch being flipped, hopefully, where people are starting to understand that we pay the government because they work for us. All that aside, you can't say, oh, one person, one death is creating problems, and not say that about all the other cases, all the media, the Fox News, the MSNBCs, all the, if you want to call us grifters, all the mainstream grifters that have been doing this for decades. There's no different. You've got a new young host coming out to speak on the Daily Show. Same shit, different channel. Okay? That's what journalism is. People that have some interest and do a dive, and whatever the case is that brings them into it, that's what it is. And if it happens to be Charlie Kirk, that's what it is. Candace Owens was doing the same amount of views. We've proven that. She's proven that. Others also have as well. You can go to her channel and look at all of her live streams for the last 3 years or whatever it is. They're all getting the same amount of views, including Charlie Kirk. She's grown more expansion. That's natural, normal. You're weaponizing the way social media operates, how people grow, and how creators and content creators and commentators grow and expand their audience by probing into different niches and narratives as a weapon. And that's irrefutably ridiculous. And it's unsubstantial, because at the end of the day, this is America, baby. We can do what we want. Now, do you think that it's harmed, like he's saying, it's harmed the general public, or it's harmed the case, or it's harmed everybody as a result? Would you say that because of this investigation, what he's saying is true? I don't believe so. I think that more people are just realizing that what we're being told is not necessarily adding up. And why is that a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing? This person has questioned, how I understand it, many things in the past, including government cover-ups, et cetera, et cetera. So why now say, oh, well, we can't ask questions about Charlie Kirk?
I predicted that this issue would only be resolved in a court of law, that opinions would only be changed by the prosecution and the defense.
And by the way, it looks like they have decided on a moderator. I'm going to show you some X stuff on X. I know a lot of you don't watch X much or go on X, so I'm going to be showing you that. But we're going to listen to the rest of this.
The sort of thing we began to see in the pretrial hearing last month. That all the rest of it was noise at best, and at worst, a very dark form of entertainment. Basically, everyone ignored my opinion, and many people harshly criticized me for suggesting it. But here we are, 11 months later. And despite innumerable podcasts on the subject, the matter has not been resolved. The rancor has gotten worse.
Of course. What do you mean the matter has not been resolved? This is a murder case in trial that's being publicly touted as already solved. Mountains of evidence, but then it turns out to just be lies. We're going to look at this image of what appeared like. Now it's so obvious when you look at the image, when you look at something like this, and you're like, well, that's obvious now that the image was so compressed. Obviously, like, how did we not realize that back then? And then you stretch it out a little bit and you're like, oh, wow, interesting. Here, let me look at this original image, you guys. Like, let me show you that this is the original image. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the original? Let me see. I think that's the original. No. That's the original zoomed in. Let me see. I think it's this one. This one? Yeah. Look at how compressed this is. There's no Jeep that is this short. That's a 4-door. This car looks like it's a bug. This looks like a beetle. Look at this. The way it's shaped. It's obviously skinny and compressed. And then when you look at an actual image, when you stretch it out, because I stretched out that image, this is the one that Candace showed on the bottom yesterday. This is the one I took, this image that I just showed you. I took this one and I stretched it way out in paint. I had to stretch it like 10 times the size that it is right now and open it out, and it looks like what she posted. So it was very obviously compressed and tightened and scrunched, in my opinion, to look like someone else. How crazy is that? It's obviously squinched or whatever, squished. Just crazy that these things that are coming out. This is why the deception and the lies that we keep saying, we keep seeing. What the hell is going on when we see stuff like this? It's outrageous.
The appetite for the Charlie murder industry is higher than ever. So this debate will be the Super Bowl of Charlie murder content. Millions of people will watch it. Lots of money.
I'm going to give my opinion on the Friday debate with Andrew Wilson and Candace in a moment.
Will be made. Lots of opinions will be put forward. And I strongly suspect that this too will fail to put the matter to rest. Lots of very fine people I quite like and admire, friends of mine, think this debate is a good idea. I am in the distinct minority of people who have consistently held that all of this chatter is not doing any good whatsoever. Everyone else, on all sides of the subject, seems to think that we're just one podcast away from settling it. So because of that, I'm sure Andrew and Candace will have no trouble finding a suitable moderator, probably several, who holds a different view of the genre than I do. However, since I was briefly roped into all of this, I would like to make a couple of proposals before I end my involuntary involvement. First, I understand there's a lot of money on the line in this debate. I don't know the exact number or even how it's supposed to be distributed. If it's a split among the debaters and the moderator, or if it's a prize for the winner, or if there will even be a declared winner. I don't know. What I propose, though, is that every penny of the prize money, as well as the video monetization revenue from however many platforms this is streamed on and restreamed on, probably hundreds of them, goes to Charlie's kids. I would suggest a college scholarship fund, but Charlie famously hated college, other than Hillsdale, maybe Liberty, a few others. But put it in a trust for that, some way to avoid a circumstance in which anyone is profiting off our buddy's corpse. My second proposal is that everyone involved, the debaters, the moderator, the audience, everyone, agrees to keep the cameras rolling for as long as it takes to hash out all of the issues and opinions and intuitions and anything else that can possibly come to mind. And then to put an end to the Charlie murder industry for the sake of Charlie's widow, Erika, for the sake of his kids, for the sake of his whole family, as well as for the sake of his political legacy, and not least for the sake of justice. Tyler Robinson's defense can make its case. The state can make its case. The rest of us can comment as hard facts come to light from the authorities and from the accused. Those are my suggestions, since I was sort of asked. I have no expectation that anyone will pay any more attention to those suggestions than they did to my similar recommendations many months ago. But the best thing that could come out of this debate is for it to be the final word of the Charlie Kirk murder industry.
If that's not possible.
If I thought that were likely to happen, I might have agreed to moderate. And I'm open to being proven wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong.
Nobody is saying that this is going to be the final debate. Like, what is this? This is not Final Fantasy Candace Owens.
But I wouldn't put any money on it. I'm Michael Knowles. This is the Michael Knowles Show.
So,
as I mentioned,
the thing is this, and I understand where Michael is coming from when it comes to certain things. I guess I can see the perspective. my take on Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson. I'm here for the truth, just like hopefully all of you are, of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Now, do I think it would be funny? Do I think it would be epic? And do I think it would be great content for Candace Owens to debate Andrew Wilson? I think it would be great content. I think it'll be some of the best. We're going to get lots of clips. People are going to be talking about it. We're going to have content to, excuse me. My stomach is killing me lately, and the coffee is probably not helping. But this is how I see the debate. Candace Owens, what is she going to be able to get out of Andrew? What is she going to be able to get? You see, like, we already expect, and most likely we'll see her just stumble, like crumble all over him. Like what is this? Trample all over him. Most likely, he's gonna have some. I think he's gonna get embarrassed. That's what I think. I could be wrong, and I have watched him. I saw him on the PBD show. I watched some of him on Joe Rogan. I think he's a charismatic guy, somewhat. But he's also he's just kind of a dude, like a typical dude that really doesn't, I don't know. He reminds me of just a real life internet troll. You know what I mean? He's just a real life, and he's a troll of the internet that came to real life. That's it. So when you have an internet troll that has no information to actually substantiate the questions that Candace may have about the actions, the locations, the places, the things, the entities, whatever that she might have questions about, he cannot answer them. He is not Andrew Colvett. He is not Blake Neff. He is not Erika Kirk. He is not a representative of TPUSA. Whatever happened to TPUSA claiming him as a person to be representing them? Where did that stipulation go? Didn't Candace have that as a stipulation? He said he can't provide that, so we're going to have it anyways. If he can't be represented by Turning Point, then there is no point in having the debate other than it'll be fun content. And I'm fine with that. But there's no massive W for anybody here. There's no massive W. The only W could be is if somehow Andrew Wilson outperforms her in the debate. That's my opinion. But I'm all for it. Let's have a good time. Let's watch. But it's not pushing the goalpost forward unless somehow you're able to get him to say something, which he's going to be trying to. I can almost assuredly say that, but that's just me guessing. And I don't think that she would intentionally do that. But if she can get him to slip up and say something, I don't know. I mean, but where's the win? Where's the W? I talked about this. I don't know if it was members only or just on a live stream the other day, but I said, like, where's the dub? You know what I mean? That's what I want to see is, like, what is the point exactly? What are we going to get out of it? And so that's really my opinion. I'm for it, but for entertainment purposes, I don't see anything of value educationally that will push the goalpost forward at all whatsoever. If I am missing that, let me know. I'm happy to be stand corrected. But Smoke Boy, I think, is going to get smoked. I love that he calls him Smoke Boy. Thank you for the super chats, Amy. Good to see you. Thank you, Philippe. Save 5 super chats from each one of them. If you got one, say thank you, and please join us on Saturday members only live streams. Toddler $1.99 says, "What's the truth on Stuttering John and his involvement?" Stuttering John. I don't know who that is. Who's Stuttering John? I'm not sure. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. But I wanted to let Michael Knowles give his full opinion. That way we could at least let him say his piece. And I had not watched it yet, so I wanted to share that. Let's go ahead and move to the next phase here, which I don't even know. I'm just gonna play it. I forgot what section I'm at here. Where are we at?
Why is the microphone he's holding
Oh,
in an acrylic box at a fundraiser. Why is it?
That's like the ending of that segment. It's true, though.
Not in an evidence locker somewhere where it could be tested to see, was it functioning properly? Did it short out? Was it damaged in some way in everything that happened? Why was it released to the wife to use as a fundraiser? Where's the Rode microphone?
Yep.
You would think if that Rode microphone, I've got one here somewhere. Here it is. These are pretty robust.
That's interesting because I love D&B, which is drum and bass music, which is the intro to drum and bass is like the song of Bays and I, our Saturday night show. They Think You're Stupid podcast. That's a drum and bass track.
You would think if this Rode microphone was still intact and attached to his shirt.
Now he puts it on here and it falls off of like a thicker sweater, but that thin shirt, like even if he got shot, it would not have flown off. Those magnets are so strong. I'm surprised it fell off of his sweater, to be honest.
Even if they had to cut the shirt off for extraordinary, heroic, life-saving measures, but this thing is still on his shirt.
It's so strong that he's able to pull the magnet over on top, and the bottom part of the magnet it can just slide underneath. It's that strong. Usually a magnet that's weak would just fall off into his pants. You see?
Like, this isn't going any. Oh, yeah, it is going somewhere.
Yeah, with that type of pressure, which speaks to maybe if the pressure is violent enough, or if it had done it itself, then it would pop off. All right, so we did see that. Let me remove this here. Oh, yes. Let's move to this segment. So Baron Coleman absolutely goes in on TPUSA journalist, TPUSA shield journalist, as Baron quotes her. Brandy Zadrozny. I think we are going to go there. I think we are. I think it'll fit nicely here.
Like Dr. Evil had.
So I put this video up. I was like, I gotta put this up. While he was live, I put it up.
Like Dr. Evil had in your little aviators. I'm gonna get those little conspiracy theorists. Yes, Mrs. Kittens. Yes, we're gonna get them. We're gonna call them conspiracy theorists. They won't see that coming. They've never been called that before. Ooh, they'll never know what hit them. My masters at MS Now are going to be baffled by my mystique.
I posted.
Brandy, you're a joke. You're an absolute joke. Next time you reach out to someone and they say, sure, I'll be happy to chat, and then you're going to do a piece on them, follow up. Follow up, you hack.
Woo! Follow up, you hack. So that came from this segment here. I pinned that post. So if you want just that, like if you want just I pinned it for you guys in the comments of
like
the live
Dr.
stream.
Evil had.
So it's this post right here. Baron Coleman turned into Dr. Evil. So that way you guys can have it. All right. It's from here.
I want to show you. I got to go through this because I got to before I go through the text messages. I got to show you what I'm talking about.
We all know that sigh. Oh, we all know the sigh. Oh, there's so much little things here. Like we could even back it up a minute here. Let's back it up like a minute because I want to remind you of this.
Anyway. Oh, goodness gracious.
He sighs a lot in this episode. I didn't realize.
Oh no, is that true? Is Blake Sneff in one of these nosy group chats? No. I've got to look at this.
They are exposing themselves left and right. Group chats, Gary Paramount Tactical, sorry. Just literally putting himself out there in his Grok chat. Just wild. And then Elizabeth Lane uncovering a whole bunch of stuff. And now this, multiple group chats, hit group chats, like go against Candace Owens group chat. How crazy. Somebody's obviously got to be funding this. Nobody does this just to do it. Like, this is ridiculous.
I've got to look at this. They found another one of these nosy group chats that's out there trying to protect the world from Candace Owens.
Look who's the admin. Look who's the admin. Lisa, wasn't she up there? Lisa knows. Yeah, Lisa knows. Yeah, anyways, whatever.
Trying to protect the world.
Yeah, here we go. Of course. I knew that she's a troublemaker. Look at her. Troublemaker.
Candace Owens. We've got Lisa knows.
Look at this. Jen, the producer.
Nothing.
Yeah, private figure. Yeah, private figure much. Yeah, right.
Jen, the producer. I'm not allowed to say Jen, the producer's name.
Me neither. Me neither. Yeah.
Not a real name, by the way.
Not really. I could say whatever I want.
Not allowed to say. Oh, there's Gary, one of the only men in this group. Oh, goodness gracious. Here we go. We got a lot of. Is Blake Sneff really up? Blake Sneff in the flesh. Oh, that's great, Sneffy. This group operates at Blake Sneff speed, ladies.
Yes, they do.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. How many of these group chats are there dedicated to finding out the architecture of Candace Owens' kitchen? What kind of car she drives? This is weird, guys. It's weird. It's weird that I had a conversation last night with somebody. It's so weird that this many people have made it their life's mission to badmouth Candace Owens. It's very strange. Very strange. All right, let's move on. Actually, I want to play a little bit of this. I want to play a little bit of what I thought was a very I don't judge people by their lowest moments. I hope nobody judges me by mine.
I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Oh, did he play some of it?
I'm not even going to play it.
No.
All you got to do is look at him right here. That's all you got to do. You got to look at this scene right here, and you'll know everything I said is true. Michael Knowles, for 7 minutes and 2 seconds, talks about how everybody needs to shut up and that all the money that they would otherwise receive off of a debate on Friday should go to Erika Kirk's kids. Erika Kirk's husband left her a lot of money. That money should go to his kids.
Don't forget GGLF life insurance. Don't forget the split dollar life insurance that TPUSA has on their CEO. Don't forget that. It's like $10 to $50 million.
Tucker Carlson raised Erika Kirk like $6 million. That money should go to her kids.
She's got probably $100 million. I would imagine something like that. I think she's probably sitting pretty. Yeah.
For that matter, Erika, pay off your student loans.
Which doesn't understand, like, why the hell is she even doing what she's doing? Ma'am, pay off your student loans. All right, let's go. I want to show you. I got to go through this because I got to before I go through the text messages. I got to show you what I'm talking about. It's like when it's like my wife asked me to go like pick up the poop in the backyard for the dogs, or like it's like, oh gosh, it's so hot outside.
This is Brandy Zadrozny on MS Now. MS Now. I'll show you. I didn't know what that meant either.
The Zapruder film, 26 seconds, 486 frames, silent and in color. A home movie taken by a dressmaker named Abraham Zapruder on November 22nd, 1963. It captured the assassination.
This lady does a piece on what's called MS Now, as you can see here. And basically, you all probably seen, I watched the whole thing. I think it was actually a great episode that she made. I think for content, it's great content. But I think that the framing of everyone coming out of the woodwork to create some ecosystem that's feeding each other like some deep sea alien podcasting circle is far from true. I think that in any industry, in any podcasting circle, or there's always a circle. There's people that have the narratives, and that's just what it is. Does Candace feed a lot of content creators? Well, yeah, she's the largest content creator out of all of us that are kind of in the same niche or narrative, or that are currently focusing on a specific narrative, which is Charlie Kirk and the Tyler Robinson trial and hearing, or what is of it so far. And that should be fine, you know, and I don't see any problem with her making this. It's just that the framing, but the way that she did Baron dirty by doing what poor journalists do, is leaking certain information, acting as if certain information was the case, and in reality, it wasn't. And she kind of makes herself look like a fool. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment.
Nation of a president. This film wasn't shown on television until 12 years after its recording.
For 2 years.
Let me stop her right there. You know what's interesting about that? That she uses this as the opening to talk about all the conspiracy theories around Tyler Robinson. Guys, the conspiracies around JFK are right. I mean, they may not be exactly right, but you know what they've uncovered? It probably wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald alone from the 6th floor of the school book depository, just like it probably wasn't Tyler Robinson alone from the roof of the Losi Center. I mean, those are like, I have no idea why that's the way.
It is very strange that she chose that assassination completely. You know, if you didn't see it, it was like the beginning of, here, I'll go to where we at right now, 2322. So let me go back to what she's showing here. I mean, how crazy is this? You're showing one of the biggest conspiracies of all time.
All right, now.
26 seconds, 486 frames, silent and in color. A home movie taken by a dressmaker named Abraham Zapruder on November 22nd. How
crazy is that? You're going to use a Zapruder film, like the biggest conspiracy of all time, as like, oh, look what these people are doing. Look what these people are doing. They're doing the same thing that all the people about JFK's death are doing. They're conspiracy theorists. Golly, man. I swear her name should be Karen.
She does introduce your humble host here in a not so flattering way, but I will allow it. I will allow it.
Now with the mid-sized planets, they don't have an audience that Candace needs. Instead,
she just said that Candace doesn't need you guys. But I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Candace needs you.
Hold on. Is that what she said?
Sized planets. They don't have an audience that Candace needs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
They supply the fresh content to feed the overarching narrative. Guys like Baron Coleman, a lawyer and a former radio.
Baron, you made it, bro. You're in the big leagues, dog. We're on freaking Julian Dory. You're on Jimmy Dore. You're on MS Now. Bro, Joe Rogan is next, bro. What's next, bro? Come on, big dog.
She had to try to get a picture of that. By the way. I don't think she could have. I guess she could have chosen a worse picture, but that's not ideal. I mean, if she would have asked,
I could have found a worse picture. Trust me.
Send her one.
Host.
He's got all kinds of crazy looking pictures. She did them nice, I think.
Show Owens calls the after party to hers. Coleman is a just asking questions guy. The word allegedly hangs on a sign behind him in his home office.
You got a problem with my sign? You've got a problem with my sign? All right. Fair enough. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I did not mean to interrupt her, but there it is.
His value comes in the holes he pokes in Tyler Robinson's criminal case.
Those aren't conspiracies. She's undermining her entire argument here. The holes I poke in Tyler Robinson's criminal case. If there are holes available to be poked in the case against him, Brandy, that's known as reasonable doubt. That's kind of the definition of a criminal trial here in
the thing is,
United States. I don't know.
This person has a history in doing stuff like this.
About you guys in other countries. I know 30+% of our audience on any given night comes from outside of the United States, but and the way we do it here is the prosecution makes a case, and if you can poke holes in their case, the guy goes home. That's kind of what happens. So if you're accusing me of poking holes, if that's your big beef, I'm poking holes in the case against Tyler Robinson. That's kind of how news works, Brandy. You ought to try it for once.
I heard this. I've heard this. I heard that she has student loans debt. I think he might have shown it or said it before.
Now, Coleman's pet theory, and it's maybe the most popular one, is that the rifle that prosecutors...
I could be wrong. Don't hold me to it, but I think that what he's saying is true.
Allege was used to shoot Kirk couldn't have done so because that gun was too powerful not to cause an exit wound.
The case was over. Tyler Robinson's not, I mean, in my opinion, not going to get convicted. because that neck wound is so inconsistent with a gunshot.
Now, the prosecution...
That's not a pet theory. That's just fact. That's just, I mean, even some of the most strident critics of your humble host.
And I'm going to give my opinion on what this all is, like who Brandy, like what she does and why she's doing it. What my opinion is on the piece in general. You know what I mean? I want to kind of let you know how I feel about her and what this is. So stick for that.
The only reason I know those critics exist is because that was their pet theory. People like snipers and people who train snipers. That's also their pet theory. It's not a pet theory. It's just if I shot you with a rocket launcher and it bounced off your chest and didn't go through you or didn't explode at you, you might think that I actually didn't shoot you with a rocket launcher. If I dropped a nuclear weapon on your house, or if that's what I was alleged to do. Baron Coleman, he dropped a nuke. He dropped a nuke right on my house. Well, can I see your house? Yeah, it's right over there. And there's like a little burn mark on the upper part of the attic. You probably could guess that I didn't actually drop a nuke. And if you tell me I shot you with a 30-06 in the neck, and it looks like your neck just sort of opened up.
he's going through and he's explaining all this, but let her cook.
And didn't agree. That's just
entered an autopsy into evidence,
and that's not actually true. I'll back the of MS now.
Hasn't entered an autopsy into evidence,
and that's not actually true. I'll back that up just to hear, because what she said is not true. I don't know how long she's been putting this together, but in my opinion, not going to get convicted. Because that neck wound is so inconsistent with a gunshot.
Now, the prosecution hasn't entered an autopsy into evidence.
They actually have, Brandy. We saw it. We saw clips of it anyway. We heard a little summary read from the autopsy report that was in fact introduced into evidence at the preliminary hearing. So you're wrong, and that's okay. I'm not going to judge you for being wrong on one fact. I'm sure I've been wrong on a fact here and there.
But people close to Kirk, including his head of security, have said that the bullet was shot from a rooftop above, moved down, and fragmented inside Kirk's body. Coleman, without evidence, posits that instead of a gun, Kirk may have been killed by an explosive device hidden in a microphone or a necklace.
I don't know that I've ever posited that, have I? Have I ever posited that? I've speculated. I've wondered aloud. I've covered the possibilities. I don't know that I've ever posited that. I don't think you could go show a clip where I say, this is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of people have. There are a lot of people that have their pet theories and they stick to them like glue. If you go to Blake Bednar's and you say, what happened? He's going to say he was killed with an explosive from his necklace. Okay. If you go to John Bray, he's going to say he was killed with an explosive from the microphone. Okay. If you go to Baron Coleman, he's going to say, man, there's a lot of things out there. I don't know what happened. Something moved under his shirt. It was.
Yep. Let's keep going. Let's see what else
very
she says.
Yeah, before.
And so now he shows the text messages and how she did him dirty. I mean, it's kind of wild. So I don't know if we're going to get into text message dirt. What I wanted, here, I'll play a little bit of it.
I'm going to show you something here. I don't do this often. I don't do this often because
is that true?
I don't like when people do this, because I think when you release communication, it should be as a shield, not a sword. But Zadrozny's left me with no choice because she's acting like I, your humble host, refused her offer to discuss this, and I was of no help. Wednesday, February 11th. Notice it's August. This was 6 months ago tomorrow. It's now August.
Wow. So in August. So she had already been contacting him back in August. I mean, in February.
Been working on this story since February.
Wow.
Hey, Baron, this is Brandy Zadrozny from MS.
Man, I could have helped her put this shit together in like a week or less, a couple days. Woo.
Have a sec to talk today? I'll be honest, I'd never heard of MS. I thought she was talking about multiple sclerosis.
I mean, if you want to know about all the creators and what we've done, just go and ask. I don't think she reached out to me,
I didn't know if
she said she put me as on my pictures on there. She put me as one of these creators. She didn't reach out to me for comment. I guess I'm not important enough.
Like trying to raise money for a medical charity. No idea what she was talking about. No idea what MS means. Can you be more specific? Sorry, MS Now. Used to be MSNBC. Used to be NBC News. I'm still getting used to it too. Roger got it. Happy to chat by text. Okay, does that sound like I'm rebuffing her? I don't want to have anything to do with her. I'm refusing to be. No. Okay, then she posts a recent article about Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Einstein. Great, thanks. The short of it is that I've reported on Charlie and TPUSA for nearly a decade and think his death and the fracturing of his organization is one of the most notable events in recent memory. And to document it all, we're working on a narrative podcast that tells Kirk's story and documents to fallout from his assassination. Part of the story, will have to be about the distrust in the FBI's handling of the case. Oh man, I didn't quite capture it all. But I copy it down in a second, so I'll show you that. And the most notable events in recent memory, and to document it all here it is. Yeah. Part of the story will have to be about the distrust in the FBI's handling of this case and the questions that you and so many others have been interrogating. I'm reaching out to you and some others who have been authoritative in this space to see if you'd be willing to talk on the record or maybe be up for a kind of profile of you and your work. I'm less interested.
All right, he goes through, and I don't want to bore you all with this. It's a bunch of text messages. He goes through and he shows how by the end, he basically is like, I'm not that interesting. What do you want to cover about me? And he gives his takes here and there. You can see like he's kind of short with her, but he gives enough information. It's like, all right, here's some info. Here's some info. But at the end of the day, and he's very courteous. You can read. He's very nice to her. This is a media story. I'm interested in you and others like you, like I was in Candace of 2018. What did she talk about of Candace in 2018? What did she talk regarding Candace in 2018? Let's see if I can find that. But anyways, at the end of all of it, she kind of leaves him kind of cold and does him kind of dirty, I think, because he basically is like, all right, well, I'm here if you need me for more. And then she kind of dumps him after that. And then this is a lot. I didn't realize how much this was. So anyways, yeah, she gets wrecked. And then, of course, the infamous video. I mean, I got to play it one more time. It's pinned in the comments here. For you guys here. I mean, it's just so good. I love it.
Evil head and your little aviators. I'm going to get those little conspiracy theorists. Yes, Mrs. Kittens. Yes, we're going to get them. We're going to call them conspiracy theorists. They won't see that coming. They've never been called that before. Ooh, they'll never know what hit them. My masters at MS Now are going to be baffled by my mystique. Brandy, your joke.
Now, we do have one more segment we're going to be covering, which is regarding the text messages of alleged text messages of Lance Twiggs and Tyler Robinson. Now, Project Constitution has come out with information, and then I believe it was dove in deeper into, I don't know if somebody else found it first or he did, and he's sharing it. We're going to go through that. I'm going to share that with you, and we're going to take a look at what is going on with the text messages, because what the claim is, and we're going to actually read a couple super chats just to go through them real quick. Well, yeah, I'm going to read a couple super chats first, and then we will do that. First, I want to pull open this so I can show you. Oh, actually, what I wanted to do before is tell you a little bit about Brandy Zadrozny. I forgot before we move forward. So after watching Barron really break down the text, break down the situation, after I've watched, because I watched her whole episode, let me just put a face and a track record, because I looked into a little bit of who she is, her professional background, and she's a senior reporter at NBC News, now over at MSNBC or MS Now, and she's been there since 2018, as I know. This is all what I could research. This is Brandy Zadrozny. Here, let me share her page so you know what I'm looking at, or who I'm talking about. So Brandy Zadrozny, all right. Now she's been making, here, let me move this so I can, her career, you can see she was at the Daily Beast in 2013. And then she's been at NBC News and written on depressing aspects of the internet, focusing on political extremism and conspiracy theories like QAnon, Stop the Steal movement, anti-vax, blah, 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 all this stuff. But what Barron is showing us and what she's showing us is not new for her. Okay. It's not new for her. She has a pattern. Critics from the right, subjects of her stories, and even some court filings have accused her of the same exact playbook for years. Selective framing, leaning hard into one narrative and like trying to pick apart something that, or make a story out of something that is like mixing the truth, right? Treating skepticism of official stories as more like a dangerous radicalization. That's what she's doing. She's making it sound like we're dangerous radicalists around Charlie Kirk. In 2020, Tucker Carlson devoted a segment to her, accusing her of digging up personal details of anonymous Trump supporters online, specifically to ruin their lives. NBC basically said that it was a smear. They stood by her. And then later in a lawsuit over one of her vaccine-related pieces, the plaintiff and an expert witness flat out said she is not a neutral or unbiased reporter. That was in court, and described her as an activist for vaccines who crafts articles to fit her own point of view, her own POV. There's this Real Clear Politics company and others have pointed out multiple times that her experts dismissed stories that then later held up. And one of her own pieces was criticized for claiming Boston Children's Hospital wasn't doing certain gender surgeries on minors when the hospital itself had said otherwise. I don't know. Some drama about that. Getting involved in gender reaffirming surgery for children. I mean, what are you doing, lady? She's also repeatedly framed serious investigations, including ones involving alleged ritual abuse, as just another round of satanic panic fueled by QAnon, which her critics say is a way to dismiss uncomfortable claims without fully engaging them. And going further back, even her Daily Beast work got pushed back for the same one-sided, biased style. Journalism you should try, at least, obviously it's not practiced as much these days, but it should try to be as neutral as possible. I do. I get a lot of people always saying, I like how you're neutral. I like how you like to see both sides, because I want to get to the truth. I don't have an opinion. My opinion, except for what we're being told and what my eyes are seeing, are not matching. That's it. And I have the right to have that. But I report as such. If I'm wrong, I report I'm wrong. If I'm whatever, But the common thread people keep pointing at, and that I'm seeing with her, is that when the story involves conservatives, alternative media, or anyone questioning the approved narrative, the Fed slop narrative, the framing tends to land the same way. These people are dangerous. Their questions are disinformation. They're chaos agents. They're making money off of each other. It was all set up and planned this way. This is a dangerous precedent to start creating, or trying to attempt to create, because you're creating hatred and dissidence around people that are loved and people that do good work and that are investigating really hard. Honest, good people, Americans, actually. Of all things, Americans. Who would have thought? So when you say that these people are dangerous and that we're spreading disinformation, or that we're that the real story is how radical we're becoming, that's the rhetoric that people see when you put out this type of content, Brandy. Now, I'm not saying every single thing that she's ever written is false. I'm sure that there's plenty of truth. But I am saying that the pattern of how she approaches these subjects is exactly what a lot of people in this space have been warning about for years. And there's also a thing called a Hasbro budget. Don't forget, $1 billion can get you a lot of content. I'm not saying is involved in that. All I'm just saying is you don't know where it's coming from. All right. You don't know. And what's interesting is she mentions in Barron's text, okay, she mentions in the text, you saw it. I don't know if I can find it again. Yeah, here it is. She says it right here. Look at this. Let me show you. It says, this is a media story to me, though, not an attempt to debunk. I'm interested in you and others like you, like I was in Candace of 2018. So Candace of 2018, what happened then and why was she so hard up about 2018 and Candace? Well, what's interesting about that is that Candace Owens was rising rapidly in 2018. She was a TPUSA communications director, Kanye West endorsement, Trump praise, viral videos as a result, and she received coverage from other outlets. But Zadrozny was just digging into her, I think. I think she has been looking into Candace Owens for quite some time. And something about Turning Point USA is where she started looking into this. Why does she get interested in Candace Owens when TPUSA became big in 2018? You can look at the chart. They doubled their net revenue and but they also like tripled or quadrupled their staff in 2018. That's when, I think it was 15, 16, 17. It was just Charlie Kirk, Tyler Boyer, Bill Montgomery, and maybe one other person. But then 2018, not Tyler Boyer, sorry. Was it? Tyler Boyer came on, I think, in 2018. And yeah, so it was Bill Montgomery, Charlie Kirk, and one other person in 2015, 16, and 17. I believe that's right. Boyer, along with a whole slew of executives, C-suite people. When I see C-suite, like CEO, CFO, COO, CTO, those all came along with Tyler Boyer, and over time it expanded. And that is when she starts picking up Candace Owens. I just find it interesting. Zadrozny has stated publicly that Candace even had to block her in 2019 after Candace's widely discussed comments about, Hitler. Everyone likes to talk about that. Everyone's a Nazi and a Hitler. All right, except for being a globalist. So because she said that, there was a whole bunch of drama. And so Zadrozny's criticism towards Candace Owens has come much more recently. 2026, but I think that she's been waiting for the opportunity to do so. Anyways, let me do a couple of super chats, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get to the last leg of the show, which is what happened. Oh, there is this also from Candace. She posted this. Charlie Kirk, this was about Brandy Zadrozny, him showing the text. He said, I'll be here. This is what I was trying to show you. He said, I'll be here. And then she kind of ghosted him and then just went with the content. Brandy Zadrozny to Barron. So then, quote tweeted by Candace. Candace says, Charlie Kirk hated this reporter, Brandy. Charlie Kirk hated this reporter. Man, that has to hurt if you're a Brandy. So much so that when she contacted me almost immediately after his assassination, I had a visceral reaction. Visceral. Do you know what visceral means? Do you guys know? For anyone who doesn't know, visceral definition. Visceral definition, a deep, strong feeling that comes from your gut or raw emotions rather than from clear logic or calm thinking. It can also mean physical things connected to, yeah. So imagine it makes your gut wrench and like your emotions start getting triggered. That's how badly Brandy Zadrozny affected Candace Owens. I don't think I could have a visceral reaction to anything. Not much, but women are different. And that's fine. I think that visceral reaction is the best statement on this. Told her to kick rocks and reminded her how nasty she had been to Charlie and TPUSA. It is, of course, expected that Charlie's wife didn't care about that at all and chose to open the doors up and grant Brandy an interview. Despite the nasty articles that Brandy wrote about Charlie, which are still available on the internet, I've learned that Erika Kirk prefers to grieve with Charlie's enemies. I'm glad Brandy included my response to her in this trash piece. And she did include that. Let me find this real quick. Find what Sorry about this. Other places. Okay, sorry. All right. So, anyways, yeah, and then in this it says, Charlie, I notoriously let you trail us for a day, and we're really kind to you. Only for you. Oh, so this is Candace Owens sending to that lady, Brandy, when maybe she reached out after Charlie was assassinated. I mean, reaching out very quickly. When did she reach out? Almost immediately after the assassination. Why so fast? What is immediately? Immediately sounds like same day or close to. Charlie and I notoriously let you trail us for a day, and we're really kind to you, only for you to write a really nasty hit piece about us that in no way reflected our experience with you. It was an early lesson for us regarding the slimy character of mainstream journalists. Thank you for that lesson. That said, and especially in the wake of Charlie's assassination, it makes my skin crawl that you would so shamelessly reach out for anything. Statement from Candace Owens, representative. Now, what has she said exactly? What has Brandy Zadrozny said? Well, the most clear and most direct negative framing she published about Charlie Kirk while he was alive is that she wrote that Charlie Kirk trafficked in conspiracy theories. She would expand in life, Kirk entertained, these are quote, in life, Kirk entertained conspiracy theories, trafficked in them, and benefited from their unchecked spread, unquote. She listed specific examples he promoted or leaned into on his podcast, the quote, Great Reset, unquote, as a globalist plot, the quote, Great Replacement Theory, claims the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio were taking people's pets and eating them, quote unquote. The American men had been purposefully, quote unquote, feminized, that the media was hiding something about the attack on Paul Pelosi, that Biden intention. So these are all the things that Charlie Kirk indulged in, that Biden intentionally ignored weather disasters to push climate policies, debunked Charlie's election theft theories, are commentating on that, claims that January 6th was a setup of peaceful patriots, and she's, condemning him for that, forced vaxes on Americans, condemning him for that, for saying that. She added that he, quote, surrounded himself with conspiracy theorists, unquote, naming Trump, RFK Jr., Candace, Alex Jones as just a few examples. Her accompanying ex-post put it bluntly, quote, Charlie Kirk trafficked in conspiracy theories. In death, he became the main character in the ultimate one, spun by the White House. It's a tactic I imagine Kirk would have approved of, unquote. Around the same time on MSNBC, Andy Ngo and others reported that she referred to Kirk as a right-wing agitator while discussing reactions to the assassination. Bottom line is that the strongest negative characterizations of Kirk are really, she called him trafficking, entertaining, and benefiting from conspiracy theories. That's how she saw Charlie Kirk, and an agitator, and portrayed his post-death conspiracy wave as a logical outgrowth of the world he created. He created this conspiracy world, not the CIA and the JFK assassination. They didn't create conspiracy theories. No. Charlie created conspiracy. We're going to go through some super chats, and then we're going to get to the final leg of the show right about now. Let me pull up this post. How you liking the show? Put a fire emoji in the chat if you are enjoying yourselves. Fern's mom, John Coleman, last 3 videos worth watching. Yes, so I had seen some of his recent stuff. They are longer. Remember, we're only doing a few super chats, and we're going into the end of the show after this, and we'll do the rest of the super chats at the end. I'm just going to read a few to get through some of these to say what's up to anybody that's been waiting. Yes, he does have good content, and the thing is, I was thinking about showing John Coleman before, but the thing is, I don't have time to go through all of his longer shows and break them down, and I will eventually. Thank you. A Barnes, good to see you. $4.99. Alice Bailey said externalization of the hierarchy. UN Lucis Trust. Thank you. Critter, welcome. Danks membership, welcome. Thank you. Say thank you if you got it. Saturday members only live streams, 99 cents. Excuse me, 99 cents. Members only live streams on Saturday. Conspiracy theory was invented by. Oh, there we go. See, exactly. I know. Thank you, Crit. Another one, Critter gifting memberships like a savage. Amy, $10. Thanks. Hey, we've been trying to get a random membership to Kathy. Could you please give one to her? I'm buying. I can't give memberships. This Kathy, I just tagged. So Catherine, I can't gift. I can the only thing I can do is gift memberships randomly like everybody else. Here, I'll give 5. You sent the 10 here. I'll give 5 right now. Okay. And maybe she'll get one. I saw someone gift a bunch earlier. Maybe she got one. Did she get it? No, she didn't get it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how to gift one. You can't gift one. I've already asked their support and they can't. Thank you though. Gifted 10 Danks memberships. Wow, Maria, thank you so much. If you got them, flaunt them. Say thank you. Thank you so much. Very generous of you. All right. That's very kind. Let's keep it moving. All right. So, next part of the show, as promised. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. So, Project Constitution put this piece together. And I'll just read it to you and then we'll go from there. So, this was on 2 days ago. Bombshell. New evidence suggest, and remember, this is all allegedly. Now, I know Project Constitution has put out content that is questionable or that has been outright debunked, but he has also come out in those times and said, hey, I messed up or whatever, and corrected himself. So I got to give him credit for that at least. So I'm aware of his history, and I think he wants to do well, hopefully. Bombshell. New evidence suggests Tyler Robinson confession texts were not written on an American phone. I thought this was interesting. A new breakdown is circulating that points to a simple but striking inconsistency in the alleged Tyler Robinson text messages. Many of the sentences begin with lowercase letters on both iPhone and Android. The first letter of a new sentence is automatically capitalized by default. The same messages also show inconsistent handling of I'm, capital I-M. Sometimes properly capitalized with an apostrophe, other times written in lowercase without one. The person presenting the analysis tested this on both major phone operating systems and argues the pattern does not match normal American phone behavior. They suggest the messages were more likely typed on a computer or on a device whose primary keyboard language does not auto-capitalize. And note that Hebrew, which has no capital letters, produces similar typing habits when users switch to English. I had no idea that this is the case, which I probably should have imagined. But in Hebrew, as it states, and I did look it up, is this statement true? Here we go. Let me do this. Let's do this. I'm going to run this. I'm going to see what here. Write this in Hebrew. I'm going to have it write in Hebrew and see what happens. Let me pull this.
Supposedly sent by.
Let me take a screenshot of this. Hold on 1 second. I want to see what happens. Write this in Hebrew and then translate it into English. I'm going to have it break this down first. So what I'm going to do is this. Let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to have Grok break this down. Here, hold on 1 second. Good chat. Watch. I like to share with people. Give me a line by line for this specific convo. Who said what? Just broken down. Tyler and other person in chat. So I have each line. So first I'm going to have it just give me the line by line because Claude has been kind of weird lately about information. Let me see. And then here, let's do this. We're going to go back. we might just use Grok. But in the meantime, let me read this post. The person presenting, blah, blah, blah. Okay, whether this proves the texts are fabricated or simply raises questions about how they were created, the capitalization pattern is visible and has not been adequately explained by the official narrative. Shout out to It's KK1 for making me aware of this clip. Follow her. Be sure to subscribe to Enigma. Okay, let's take a look at this. And he posted this before as well. Does she? Okay, so Candace mentions this also. Let's take a look.
We also saw testimony in court that the police moved to use.
He changed his logo. You know that TPUSA were trying to sent him a cease and desist for his logo for using Charlie's likeness, his image. They have it, I guess, copyrighted.
An Israeli tech firm
or time trademark. I have no idea. I don't think they can do that actually.
To extract the messages. Celebrate, it's called. An Israeli forensic tech firm to extract those messages. Now, I don't know if it matters to them, but we all kind of think Israel killed Charlie Kirk, just based on the actions and the mood of the Israeli government leaders, Bibi Netanyahu, and their plethora of Zionist supporters throughout the United States. They're obsessed with lying about the Charlie Kirk case. They just have to lie about the Charlie Kirk case. They have to try to debunk everything immediately. It's giving us the vibe that they could be guilty. So yeah, we'd rather not trust an Israeli tech firm to extract messages that do not sound at all as though they were written by a native English speaker. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. It sounds to me like someone using Google Translate, right? There are little idiosyncrasies in language.
So she noticed it as well. We all notice there's something up with these texts.
That I'll give you, when I learned Spanish, okay? I remember like, okay, I know how to say to drink, beber, beber.
Okay, so now we know that there's been questions in the from Candace. Now let's see what this is.
So I have proof that the text messages that were supposedly sent by the Charlie Kirk assassin, Tyler Robinson, are fake. So here is a transcript of the supposed text messages that were sent by Tyler Robinson. And I'm not going to read every little thing, and I'll just jump right to what the proof is, which, as far as I know, no one has proposed this before. The first letter in the sentence is not capitalized. So, and it's not for every single sentence, but you can see it happens quite a bit. The Y in you weren't the right one, blah, blah, blah. The Y is not capitalized. The N in no is not capitalized. The A in a bit is not capitalized. The D in delete is not capitalized. The M in my is not capitalized, et cetera, et cetera. You can see that it goes on and on. So if these texts were sent on a phone, this does not happen. And I tested this out on both Android and iPhone. If you try to type something on your phone, and you can test this out right now, it automatically capitalizes the first letter in the sentence. It automatically does this. It does not keep it lowercase, as it is here, as it is here, as it is here, as it is here, et cetera, et cetera. And there's more. You can see he's saying, I'm sorry. Well, guess what? That's inconsistent. So Tyler Robinson supposedly posted this on Discord. And I circled where he said the word I'm. And as you can see, it's lowercase. And
this isn't a channel. This is on Project Constitution's X. That's why I like doing this X stuff, because a lot of people don't know that this stuff is going on. So these daily debriefs, a lot of it will be from X.
It's not using an apostrophe.
Let me back up a little bit.
And I circled where he said the word I'm. And as you can see, it's lowercase and it's not using an apostrophe. You see?
Yeah, so that's what he's saying. He's saying, yeah, because the phone auto capitalizes it, there's something strange about it there.
But yet here, it's properly capitalized and there is an apostrophe, demonstrating inconsistency. Why is that? Well, it's because they weren't written by the same person. So, as I said before, an American phone will automatically capitalize the first letter in the first sentence that you write. It'll always do that, whether you're writing on.
Now, that's true. But I think everybody's phone changes, no? I had Grok translate this. So I had it translate it into Hebrew as written. See, the thing is, yeah, as written. Okay. And then I had it translated back into English from Hebrew. So, but I don't know if that's going to work. I have to work on this to see if I can have it done right. Because this is capitalizing everything now. Anyways.
Android or iPhone. I tested it out on both, and I encourage all of you to test this out. It always capitalizes it, which proves that these text messages were not sent on an American phone. Whoever was writing this stuff was either using the computer or they weren't using an American phone. And I'll just come right out and say it. I believe that these text messages were written by an Israeli. You see, I've seen this before.
Man, if you were what is it, the ADVSB or whatever, the anti-Semitism, they're having a field day.
I've been to Israeli discords, and the one thing all these people have in common is that they never capitalize the first letter in a sentence. They never do it. And do you know why? Do you know why they don't do that? It's because in Hebrew, they don't have capitalization. And I believe the same is true for Arabic, but obviously the person who wrote this they were fluent in Hebrew, and English was a second language to them. Whenever an Israeli is talking to someone online in English, they don't capitalize. I've seen this on discords, and it's very, very consistent. They don't capitalize. And their phones don't automatically capitalize either because they're keyed for Hebrew. That's primarily the language that they would use for texting and things like that. So when they switch over and then start typing using, whatever Roman characters, whatever you call it, and speaking English, it does not automatically capitalize. So the person who wrote these...
Does anybody have any experience with this? I'm not familiar, you see.
Text messages, they were either using a computer, which won't automatically capitalize things, right? We all use PCs. They don't automatically capitalize. They either were using a PC or they were using an Israeli phone, which means that we were fed a bunch of lies. And that's all I got to say.
Interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull apart. I have my AI agency over here pulling it apart. I'm going to get the transcript. I'm going to extract the transcript, and then I'm going to see if I can replicate this. I don't have that yet, so we'll see. But, what I would say is if we're looking at all of these things that are happening around us, the attacks, the groups, did you see how many times this person talks about Candace Owens? I mean, it's crazy. She was talking about, I think it was, this one here. Look at how much they actually talked about her. Let me see. I showed you guys a stretched photo, didn't I? Did we go through that? Oh, we didn't yet. We didn't go through it yet. That's what we need to do. I think we might have a little bit, but we need to go through that because this is the image that she dropped. She dropped this saying, this is the original. Okay. And we did talk about it a little bit earlier, but I want to go deeper. Thank you for the membership, Zero. Look at that. We're trying to hook Kathy up. Doing God's work. Thank you, Zero. Big donation. Thanks, memberships. Thank you, Critter They're trying out there. We're trying for you, Kathy. We're trying for you. We're all doing it. Just join. It's 99 cents if you can. Have someone send you some Venmo or send me a, I don't know. Put your Venmo in the chat. I'm sure somebody will send you $1. All right. So let's look at this because I find this very telling. It's very concerning. There's so many things. What about the George Zinn thing? I forgot about that. Oh, man, I thought we were going to be out of here soon. We're not out of here yet. We got 2 more things to discuss. Charlie Kirk assassination story goes deeper. We got more grifts to continue on. We can't stop now. We can't end the show yet. We haven't grifted enough. Jeez, don't you know?
And I want to be clear, we did not edit these in any way. Okay? This is no editing. We're not making it, it's not compressed. This is Tyler Robinson? Second thing I'm going to show you is, again, he appears to be left-handed. Okay, my government source says that he takes his phone out of his left pocket and then puts an earpiece into his left ear.
I want to show you guys something because she's going to say something about his hat.
Oh. Okay. That government source feels confident that this person is left-handed. Wow, what a silly mistake, right? You plan everything and then just forget that everyone's got to be right-handed. Oops. That's a big auto, actually. It might require you to intentionally degrade and blur footage when you go, ooh, that's not the right hand. And I know last week we showed you that in every instance that we find Lance Twiggs, he appears to be left-handed, left dominant, pumping gas, snowboarding, falling while snowboarding, playing the piano where he's putting his watch. And now we can show you this picture of him eating. Oh, with his left hand. So that's...
Hold on. That's Tyler Robinson? Wait, am I tripping?
Show you this snowboarding, playing left-handed, left dominant, pumping gas, snowboarding, Twiggs. He appears to be left-handed, left dominant, pumping gas, snowboarding, falling while snowboarding, playing the piano where he's putting his watch. And now we can show you this picture of him eating. Oh, with his left hand. So that's kind of interesting there. It would suggest heavily that Lance is left hand dominant. Maybe he's ambidextrous. I don't know. But I've seen enough photos now to go, yeah, I think he's left-handed. I do. Another thing that I would like to point out is that this individual that we are showing you in more clarified images, and we are doing this just to be clear on behalf of Turning Point USA, who has been demanding transparency. We just wanted to rise to the occasion. But what also becomes clear is that he seems to be wearing, and this is a big one, high white socks of some description. Take a look. Oh, and I'll tell you, that is not the sun. It is like what looks to be, and I don't know if it's looking as clear on your screen, it's got tanned arms and like you're either albino in September and this is the first time you've ever in your life, look, this is a better, because you can see now he's out of the sun. Just take a look at that. It looks to us like sports leggings, like soccer socks pulled up. What does that, or albino in September, just put on a pair of shorts for the first day. And when I use my mind and I go, why would someone wear like what looks like stockings on this day? It makes me think, does somebody
There's so many strange things. The stockings, the white legs, all this stuff is so weird, right? Why would you have all of this outfit weird changes like this? Look at this
thing. Take a look. Oh, yeah, that hat is actually above his glasses. We could say that definitively. What's under there? Why would you wear your hat like that? You're going to commit a crime. You see, in the other staircase up, they show him looking down, so we assume it's low, but it's not.
I wanna find something real quick.
Anyway, I'll leave it at that. I'll let that play. Hold on one second.
For
transparency. I got to tell you, it never really made sense to me, the story of Tyler Robinson changing just his shorts. That was the story, right? And I just want to make sure that we reflect.
Okay. Somebody tagged me, or they commented this in my post. And so I want to share it. Now, obviously, this is not going to be an exact, right? But they took this, they asked ChatGPT not to alter any facial features, not to alter the clothing, sunglasses, only to create a sharp image from the original. And we got long hair and the white socks. So this is the original. Let's open it in new tabs and get a nice look at it. All right. This is the original. These knee socks, white, black, whatever hat. And then we have the AI enhanced. Since we want to use enhanced footage, this is the enhanced footage. How crazy is that? And I don't see Converse. I don't see Converse in any of these. Weren't they Converse that he said he was wearing? They said he was wearing. What are these shoes? We have new shoes introduced. And isn't that a different maroon shirt? Now here's the AI enhanced version. This is what the person's supposedly looks like. Obviously, it's not going to be identical, but interesting that the hat is like that. Candace mentions it, and voila.
The story of Tyler Robinson changing just his shorts. That was the story, right? And I just want to make sure that we reflect so you can really understand where we are at in terms of the Tyler Robinson narrative, okay? As it currently stands, they want us to believe that Tyler Robinson slept at home and then woke himself up before 4 a.m. on September 10th of 2025 because he had to leave his house in St. George before 4 a.m. to make it up to campus when they then catch him on walking by the neighbor's house at 8:07 a.m. That's that TMZ released footage, 8:07 a.m. So I want you to picture him waking up, putting on his favorite maroon shirt with some gray shorts. He then makes the 4-hour drive from St. George to the campus, gets out of his car.
Oh, you know what it is, Kathy? I think that because you were a member before, I don't know if you can get gifted a membership. I could be wrong, but you were a member. And that's what I think it is. Yeah. Yeah, I see. That's probably what it is. Okay.
Pulls into the garage, gets back in his car, pulls into the garage, finds the surveillance cameras in the garage, en route to go approach a Turning Point employee. It's like, I'm going to wear my favorite shirt to approach a Turning Point employee because I intend.
Yeah, this whole thing is just crazy to me, you guys. It's just crazy to me. Like, all of this is just wild. Hey. She got it. Nice. Yeah, we have good times on Saturdays for sure. You know, what's crazy is, like, if you look at the post, because, like, what I did is, again, I took the original, and if we look for the original image, we go UVU garage Tyler Robinson walking. I don't know. Fuck. Image. Let me see. Yeah. Actually, I think like all of these images are. Check this out. Like, they're all kind of that way, no? Like compressed, and it looks all weird in the background. I wonder what happens if let's save that image. Let's save this image. Let's take, so him walking in the garage. Whoa. And then this is the one they say is clear. That's pretty clear. This is the one TMZ released. This is pretty clear, man. I mean, it looks clear. I thought it was. Why is the other one not so clear? Look at this. This is the footage. Tyler Robinson. I mean, blurry as could be. Can we make it better? 720. No. My goodness. That's it, guys. You got your killer. You've got the killer. My goodness. You know what's wild, you guys? It's 720 HD footage right and at the end after he passes that frame. Right here, it becomes HD footage. How crazy is that, you guys? You want to talk about fucking with us? Look at this. Has anybody noticed this? Excuse my French, but look at how it's blurry, and then look at how it becomes high def. Watch it. Just watch it. Blurry, blurry, and then bam, high def. How crazy is that, bro? How do you go? Can I zoom in? I can't. How do you go from that here? Now I need to put this together. Let me see. This. Let me do this. Boom. We're going to put that. And then let me go to before. I mean, that is crazy, bro. The difference in blurriness level is just insane. Wow. Check this out. Here, I'll show you. This is so crazy to me. Why would you do it like this? Unless you were hiding something. Oops. Check it out. Right here. Look at the difference in blur level. After the screen gets high quality, this is me blowing up the pixels, of course, before the screen gets high quality. And this is the same footage, apparently. The same footage. That is so wild. And clear. right at the 12-second mark. Clear. Yeah, as soon as it hits second 12. That is sus. Suspect. All right, let me go to what I was looking at. Yeah, I wanted to stretch out that image and show you how I did it. Like, even if we look at this one. All right, what we're going to do is that. If I can get it. I'm going to try one. I want to stretch out one of these and see what happens. Here we go. And then we'll see if we get anything similar. But I'll show you. So what I did was, again, I took the original and I stretched it out. And it looks just like the footage that she dropped the other day. But I got to tell you, this really did get me. This one really, really kind of something about it. Even though it's AI and all that, there's something about this particular image after asking to be cleared up from this to that. I mean, dude, it's almost exact. Look at this, bro. You can't tell me. Get out of my way. This, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I don't know what, but I mean, this looks pretty damn close. Wow. I could go back and forth all day on this. All right, here's the original, I think. Is it? All right, 1 second. I think this is the original. Look at this beetle looking ass bug. All right, so I'm going to open up my paint so you can see how I have to do this to make it even fit. I'll share my paint screen with you. Boom, boom. So we're going to take it from skinny to not skinny. Here. And all you got to do, you got to open it up a lot. And then I'm going to paste the image. Look at how small it is. And then I'm going to just stretch it out. And you have to keep stretching it out. Just keep stretching it out. To the point to where your computer almost doesn't even want to do it. And then you can see like a normal version of what it's supposed to look like. You know? Because then you can see the vehicles in the background. They look a lot more. Here, I'll zoom in for you. Look a lot more lengthy, normal, don't you think? I think this person looks a little bit more girthy than Tyler Robinson. That's just my opinion. I wanted to take one more image. I'll choose one. Perhaps this one. Can I copy the image and place it here? So you saw that. Here's this one. Yeah, I guess this isn't going to be as good. So I don't know. Can't really do that one. All right. Anyways, let me read the rest of super chats. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the live stream today. We're going to wrap the show up. I think, was that it? Was there one more thing? Oh yeah, there was one more thing in there. There is one more thing. George Zinn. I'm going to just try to cover it all because we don't know what's going to come out over the rest of the week. So let me show the George Zinn situation because this is wild. Give my opinion on that. By the way, I'm going to show you. I know we're almost done. We'll be done here in, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes max. I want to show you what I found about George Zinn. Nobody's talked about this. George Zinn, I'm going to show you evidence that George Zinn knows Phil Lyman and they do some version of business together. All right. Bombshell stuff. I've talked about it before, but George Zinn has given money to Phil Lyman. They're entangled. They're entangled somehow. I'll show you evidence of that as well after this part. Here we go.
Number one, obviously said I did it. Reached out to me and said, hey, you need to check this out with George Zinn. Like, what's that falling out of his pants? Anyway, I'm going to first show you the video of George Zinn's arrest. We haven't covered him much. He's decoy boy number one. Obviously said, I did it, came down. We don't really know why he said that. And these are the best kinds of people actually to bring into a federal operation because we wrongly just dismiss them as crazy and we sort of move on. And I'm guilty of this with George Zinn. I probably should have prodded a bit more, paid more attention to his arrest. But
I don't know, Critter. Do you have somebody in mind? I don't really. Has anybody said like who it looks like? I haven't seen anybody say, oh, it looks like XYZ.
But sure enough, I want you to take a look at, I don't want to say like his pants are down, take a look at what's happening between his legs, but it makes more sense when we show you this video that he just has some stuff that is falling that seems to have come perhaps maybe from his lower ankle. Take a look at this. If you're
weird.
listening to this on audio, you can see his pants are down. He does have boxers on. And it just seems like whatever it is clearly attached to him, whether it's attached to his belt and it looks like it's coming from his ankle because he is
it's
walking.
Flapping around.
But then she discovered that in the high-res photos, it appears that George Zinn has some sort of a device that's fallen. And somebody may recognize this. It may really be nothing. I'm not familiar with it, but that's what
Does anybody know what this is? I mean, it looks like a picture. Excuse me. To me, it looks like a picture that's been folded up. Okay, look, it's either glass broken or it looks like a picture that's been folded up. I mean, it could be digital. There's a little digital smear here, like from compression, possibly. It looks like a picture that's on a binder for some reason. No?
Close-up of it is. And as you can see, it looks like
a binder, like a folder, mini folder.
The only way I could describe it would be like a walkie-talkie meets an iPhone. It's a thicker device. Again, this could be something I'm not familiar with.
I'm trying to figure out what is this? Is this his belt? Like how zoomed in?
This could very easily be like, oh, people who are hard on hearing have this device. Here's what it is. I immediately was like, it looks like a satellite phone because of the thickness of it. But I could be wrong. We're looking to just identify that advice. If you guys
exactly what I was thinking. It looks like an iPhone picture screen on a front of a binder. I
just want to pull that up
it doesn't flap around like a satellite phone. That shit would be
more time so people can see that. Yes, you can send us an email to more tips at Candace. See his pants are down.
Look at how lightly it flops around. A satellite phone is not going to be just flopping in the air. You see? So it has that lanyard type of possibility, like a necklace or something that had a picture of something.
Have boxers on, and it just seems
it's
like
very flowy. It's very flowy.
It is clearly attached to him, whether it's attached to his belt, and it looks like it's coming from his ankle because
a phone like that, even a real phone, would they wouldn't be able to walk him like that because it would be a risk of injury. Possibly that phone could smack one of the knees of the police officers or the shin. You know what I mean? So they're not going to walk him with a giant swinging phone hitting their ankles. I just don't see that.
He is walking. But then she discovered that in the high res photos,
I don't know. So, I mean, to me, it looks like it's just a lanyard with a picture. It's very weird here. Let me slow it down a little bit. Let's go slower, 50%. I mean, it's flowy. It barely bounces. And most of it, like, it wouldn't come up in the air. It would drag on the floor, on the ground, if it was a heavy phone device. He's not kicking his leg up. So there's no reason for the thing to flow in the air unless it's enough pressure to fly it up. See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I'm not tough. No, I'm not a tough guy. But I'll whoop y'all booty. Meet me in the ring anytime. I am trained. I'm a what do they say? Hard to kill? I'm hard to kill. So lots of stuff going on here. I don't know, man. A lot of very interesting things happening already. And today's Tuesday. Missed yesterday, but yeah, man. It's one of the most egregious things is to see people attack each other for trying to do good work. So let me show you why everyone, like, there's so much skepticism and why. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. Let me show you on my channel way back into time. We're going way back. Way back. Let's go way back. Scroll down, like all these videos about all kinds of different stuff. Judeo, there's all kinds of stuff. Let's keep going back. Here it is. This was on okay. This was October 15th. Oh, shoot. October 15th.
So I usually don't do videos in the bed I usually code in the bed, but this was impossible to not make a quick video on, at least for you guys, guys and gals, people that are interested. LymanForUtah.com. You scroll down, this is his official website. Okay. Paid for by Phil Lyman for Utah. This is his website. But look what I found. An endorsement for George Zinn. I'm sorry, I didn't find it. I saw Black Scout Survival talking about it. He passed by it very quickly. And I had to go. It was 48 minutes ago he launched this video. I was like, well, let me go find it and make sure before they delete this sucker. And sure enough, it says, rare to find a more caring man with uncompromising goals to make Utah great for generations than Phil Lyman. Not a politician who can be pampered. Phil has a knowledge of urban and rural Utah from every corner and community. Utah is in desperate need of true leadership and representation, and Phil has the passion and values to be a great governor. He needs our support. George Zinn. Total support from community leaders. So kind of intriguing that this man that was he admitted to causing a scene to let the real guy get away. This man endorsed George Zinn.
Reverse. George Zinn endorsed Phil Lyman, which I think is wild. So yeah, it's all connected. I was talking with Anna Escobar the other day. on the live stream, we were saying it's all connected. You know, in whatever direction we look, it's all connected at the end of the day somehow, which is wild. More sus sauce. Well, everyone, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, notify, all that good stuff. Come join us in the Discord. We hung out all day yesterday. We watched Candace together you got to join through Club Vatra and hang out with us in the Discord. We have a good time. We watched Candace. We watched some of Baron. I was building the website, making changes. So please come join us if you want to get involved or just come hang out with my community or other communities that are on Club Vatra. I'm sure you'll love it. It's just a way to get into our Discord so that there are no bad actors and stuff like that. So feel free to get yourself over there and join us. And then we are starting a referral program on Club Vatra, so you'll get free memberships and stuff like that based off the community leaderboard and stuff like this. So we're implementing all kinds of cool stuff, a messaging system. So if you have any complaints or questions for the creator, you can DM them directly in the website, clubvatra.com. So lots of cool stuff. The advanced AI analytics system for YouTube creators is built. It's an AI chatbot built for specifically your YouTube analytics system. So if you're a creator and you want to get involved in Club Vatra, you want to have a community built for you, you want to understand your analytics with the most advanced AI system ever built to understand analytics, you might want to join, because members now get it free if you're an elite Empire member on Club Vatra, which is the ones with the Discords and the websites and everything that we build for you. You also get the advanced analytics for free, which is going to cost $100 a month minimum to use, including credits as well. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining, and God bless. I love you all. Dankster, did you want to start a 501c for your nonprofit exposure page? Maybe. I've talked about it. It's definitely something I'm interested in. It just has to be the right people. And it's a big, big deal. It's a big deal to do something like that. So it's not something I'm entertaining lightly, but it is something I would be willing to do if the right people came together to do so. For AmericansForTransparency.org. And actually it's AFNPT, Americans for Nonprofit Transparency. And it's built to hold these people accountable, to make sure that the transparency shows, right? That they are being held accountable. The reason why is because nonprofits are paid by us. We subsidize their taxes. So I think holding all these people accountable and taking it further than just TPUSA and Israel and all that, and actually expanding into all of the FARA documents. It's not just one country, you guys. It's a lot. And all these nonprofits, there's $500 billion going into nonprofits every single year. This is like 0.0025%, this TPUSA and this APAC money and all this shit. All of it together is, all the nonprofit money is a lot of money. So yeah, I am interested, but has to be right. Okay. You're in the Discord, right? Aren't you, Danielle? I thought you were, Danielle. Yeah, you're still in the Discord. You're French, right? Talk to me in the Discord. I tagged you. All right. Love you guys and gals, ladies and gentlemen, Danksters and Dankettes. We'll see you in the next one. It's your boy Danks. Peace.